Good afternoon, everybody. It is 1 o'clock by my counts. I am just checking that you can all see me. We have the chat. Hi, Jonathan. Hope you're doing very well. There is a short delay on this, so I will come back to you in the chat if you ask any questions. But we're running a 12-second delay just for streaming purposes, just so that it doesn't glitch so much. So yeah, in the comments, give me a hello. Just being really cheeky, can you give me a subscribe? It's really difficult to build your YouTube channel, and I'd appreciate the subscribe because I put out a lot of videos to help you do things and find things and all that kind of stuff. So hit that subscribe. I'm just going to say hello to a few people in the chat. Hi, Richard. Hi, Darren. I'm going to do this just for a few minutes while everybody joins, and then we'll get into how you build your company page on LinkedIn. Some of this stuff we're going to go through today, you may know. Hi, Peter. Hi, Emma. Some of this stuff you will know, some of it you won't know, and I'll show you a few things that you can do to kind of make your company page a little bit easier to handle, including using your personal profile to promote your company and your personal profile to get people to follow your company. You might not like all the things I share, but I'll give you them to them and you can play with them yourself. Hi, AJ. AJ, I do need to get back to you on WhatsApp. We do need to have a catch up, so I will come back to you on that. Hi, Paul. Hi, Craig. So we'll get started in a couple more minutes. Just whilst we're, chewing the fat for a minute while everybody joins, what do you think? Are we going to be leaving the UK, leaving the EU on the 31st of October? It's been really interesting 24, 48 hours, whether we're in, out, shake it all about, God knows at the moment, but it'll be interesting to see what happens tomorrow. Hi, Brian. Brian, did you escape Harvest Festival? Or are you watching Cheeky on your phone? So I'm going to get started in like one more minute. Just give a few minutes for people to... hi, Dean. A few minutes for people to join, and then we'll dive into this dangerous topic. Which is that, Brexit or Harvest Festival, Brian? I'm not sure which one you're talking about. And for those of us who don't know that, Brian and I had a chat on LinkedIn about something earlier that will remain confidential. Hi, Daniel. So your LinkedIn company page, let's kick in. And those who turn up late, will say all the ingenious stuff was at the beginning, and then they'll be like, oh, I have to watch again. So if you haven't already, hit the subscribe. But we're now on to, this is it, the company page. So I'm going to go through some basics. We'll be done in about half an hour, unless you ask me loads of questions, in which case I'll hang around. So company page, first things first. Why do company pages matter? Company pages predominantly are validators that you are a reputable business. Not having one gives people less ability to check you out. So number one, on your personal profile, make sure that your role links back to your company page. If you're active on LinkedIn, if you're prospecting, developing business on LinkedIn, some people will check out your company before they decide to reply to you, to respond to you, accept your connection request, all that kind of stuff. So company pages are important, but they're not important in some ways that you might think. People are not going to decide to make an inquiry unless you design it well from your company page. But let's just go through a couple of things that's really, really important, and a couple of things that you can do to gather a crowd around your company page that will help you. So the first one is, I'm on my Maverick company page. Hopefully you can see the screen. Everybody see the screen? Hey, Oliver. I've just spotted Oliver there. Yeah, so everybody see my screen, just hit yes, and I'm just going to start scrolling down. So there's a couple of things. First things first, we'll do the easy stuff. You've got on the right hand side here on your page, you have your community hashtags. Now you're probably wondering what these community hashtags are for. So a lot of people will put in these hashtags that are really relevant to their business. So if I was a cybersecurity company, I'd put hashtag cybersecurity, or if I was an IT company, I'd put hashtag IT solutions or something. Now, you might think that's a great idea. I personally don't think that's a good idea. So what I would do is I would map out who are the key customers that I want to engage with as part of my business. And then, whether that's managing directors, whether that's IT managers, who are those people? And then I would start to look at the hashtags that they're following. So you can do this by, as an example, looking at your ideal prospects, going onto their profile, and as you scroll down, and I'm just going to do this on Vasco for a minute, and hopefully Vasco's following some hashtags, otherwise I'll tell him off. Oh, here he is. So this is Vasco's profile, and when you go down here, you can start to see more about them and what they're following. So for an example, when it loads, yeah, this is really annoying. But let's say for LinkedIn is so annoying. Has anybody else got frustrated sometimes when LinkedIn just doesn't load or loads funny? So I'm not going to do that because LinkedIn's playing up at the moment. But what you can do is look at your ideal prospects, find out what hashtags they're using. Now, the challenge is you can only pick 3. You can only pick 3. And then what you do is you put these hashtags onto your company page. So you can only have 3, and you can literally edit them and choose which ones you want. So I've picked advertising and marketing, management and entrepreneurship. So once I've picked these, hi Joe, hope you're good. Once you've picked these hashtags, what you can do is spend a little bit of time, and believe me, this works, guys. Take the medicine on this stuff because it does work. Once you've got these hashtags set up on your profile, remember it's the hashtags that your customers would be using or following, not necessarily the hashtags that you would put to identify your business or industry. And then you go on here, click entrepreneurship, and now I have a feed of people who are using that hashtag. So I can go in here and I'll just pick this one. I'll pick this one here. And now I can like and comment as Maverick. So I don't know this person, but I'm just going to do it for an example. So now what happens is this. This person now gets a notification that Maverick has liked their post and commented. So what do? They come back to your company page and check you out. If you spent 5 or so minutes each day doing this activity, you would grow your following on your company page. So pick some hashtags that really are relevant to your customer and start to use those hashtags to engage with people. Because if you have a meaningful conversation on their post about what they're doing, they will appreciate that and they will reciprocate by coming back to check out your profile, and they may, or your company profile, and they may just follow your company page. I did this as a test for somebody to prove the point. No, so I'll answer Brian's question in a second. So I did this as a test and managed to put on, in I think it was 10 days, 400 followers onto a company page just by going on and engaging with people. But the key is picking the right hashtags. Brian, you on the company page, if you go onto the company page, you have to go on as yourself. So you go on the company page from your normal LinkedIn profile, and if you're an administrator, you get the admin view of your company page. You won't see the company hashtags, the community hashtags on my profile page. Sometimes on the mobile, let me see if I can show you on the mobile. So if Brian, I'm going to use you as a demo, if that's all right. Actually, Brian, let me not use Brian. I don't want to pick on Brian. He might not like it. So if I go on to the BBC's company page, and I don't know whether this will work, but I'll try and show you. You will see their company page. In fact, if you go to the BBC's company page, yeah, you will see hashtags below their main section on their company page. And their hashtags are hashtag BBC Ideas, BBC Capital, BBC News. So they've done it, in my view, they've done it the wrong way, but they're the BBC, so they don't need to care about this stuff. They're not a small business or a business owner trying to do stuff. They're not a marketing department. They don't need to do this stuff. So on your company page, I'm logged in here as me. So when I log in as me, I get the community hashtags down the side. If I flick to a member view, and this is what Brian and you guys will probably see, you will see this. And on the highlights section, you see the hashtags that I have chosen for the company page. Yes, Craig, you need hashtags. Not necessarily for people to find you, but so that you can use the company page to go and engage with people on those hashtags. So spend a little bit of time thinking about and looking, researching, do a bit of stalking and have a look at your prospects, your ideal customers, and see what hashtags they're engaging with, what hashtags they're using. And that will enable you to go and engage with them as your company. And those who appreciate the meaningful conversations will come back and follow your page. Yeah. Just like if you had a meaningful conversation with somebody on your post, you or they would probably add you. Hello, Cortex Intelligent Automation. So that's that one. The next one is, and I'm just going to flick back to my admin view on my company page. Just remember, make sure you link up your company page with your personal profile. So when you type the name of your company job into your experience on your profile, that it links up and gives you a preview of the page. Otherwise, it will create another page for you that is just doesn't exist. So people will try and click it and it'll take them nowhere. So make sure it's linked up properly. And I'll just show you what that looks like linked up properly. And if we're not connected on LinkedIn, by the way, please give me a follow. I'm full, so I can't add any more people. But when it's linked up, you'll get something like this here. Hopefully you can see my screen. It links up here. You can see my company logo, all good there. If it's not linked up, you will have a grey box there. And that grey box will not work. So make sure you link up your company page to your personal profile. And you do that by editing your profile, and see how it shows there, Maverick. And when you scroll down to the bottom, you've got the Maverick logo and the company name. And literally, you just add, and you see how it's here? So if I went Maverick and enter, yeah, it's suggesting that it should be that Maverick. If I didn't do that, let's say I went BBC, yeah, it will try and suggest it to prevent me creating another page or a non-existent company. Everybody still with me? Yeah, good. Okay, so the other thing to understand as well, and I know I do this in our paid training, but I'll tell you a little bit about this as well. When you're busy on LinkedIn, everything that you do on LinkedIn creates profile views. So if you start posting a lot, posting, by the way, is a massive way to increase the number of people who see you. And what happens is they do a cheeky stalk of you, look down, and then look at your company page. And people who post regularly, and again, I'll get in trouble if I go too far with this because we sell this as a program, but people who post regularly see their followers on their company page grow by 2 or 3 followers a week. And I mean regular, I mean every other day or every day, they will see their follower count on their company page grow quite fast. So let's come back to the company page again. So company pages are a little bit like Facebook pages. They're very difficult to get reach for people to see things. So you want to be creating stuff that people engage with, because I'm sure you've seen this with your own posts. When you write a post on LinkedIn, if people like or comment or whichever, they amplify the post. So what happens is more people see it because of other people liking it. And this is true for your personal profile as well as your company page. So what you need to be doing is creating stuff for your company page that is interesting to your target audience. So lots of people say to me, well, how the hell do I do that? So here we go. I'm on my admin dashboard here of my company page. Yes, Brian, if you haven't got a company page, LinkedIn will auto make one. So you either claim it or make one deliberately for yourself. So make a new company page, which you can do. I think it's here in the work. Yeah, create a company page there at the bottom. So you can create a new company page. And you can have as many company pages as you want. So I'm on the home page here and I'm thinking, how do I populate my company page with content? And content that will engage the people I want to be engaged with my company page. So there's this section here called content suggestions. You can only see this on the desktop, and LinkedIn's still very big desktop. So you need to get onto there. And then what you can do with this is you can literally create ideas of content. You can create ideas of content. Ryan, I'll come back to your question in a little bit if that's all right. So I'm on the content suggestions section here. And here what we can do is we can choose who we want to reach, and then LinkedIn will suggest content ideas that would engage that group of people. How cool is that? And then I'll show you some things that you can do to leverage content and use it to get interactions, downloads, all that kind of stuff. So you've got a couple of options. You can create content to engage all LinkedIn members, page followers, or employees. So if it's your page followers, it's literally the people who follow you. And Joe, by the way, your story's coming up here as a suggestion to share on our company page, Joe, if you're watching. But I'm going to go for all LinkedIn members here. And then because we do a lot of training to help people acquire customers and grow their business and, increase their value and sales, I'm going after the marketing and advertising industry. Yeah. And then I'm going to go my location. So one of my key locations for our business is London. So I'm going to put the location of London in, and then I can put the job function. So I could say management. Yeah, I could put management, or I could put sales. So I want a job function of sales in London, in the marketing and advertising industry, and all LinkedIn members. And it's now showing me content which will engage my audience. So I can start to learn very quickly about what content will engage people. So if, LinkedIn's saying here this, how to de-risk the future in uncertain times, has been getting a 50% engagement rate on LinkedIn under the category of social media. So I can create topics up here that would be relevant, and these are the topics and these are the suggestions. So say, for an example, because people always say this to me, how the hell do you manage to keep up with creating content? Well, that's another conversation, and I will do a little LinkedIn, a YouTube live and talk about how you can create content. But yes, you'll be able to rewatch this on YouTube. Ryan's question is, Ryan, if your company page doesn't come up, you may not have one, or your company page might be too clever for LinkedIn to find. So there's certain company names that become very difficult to find. Now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you something else, because one of the things you can do is cheat a little bit. And it's not cheating really, but there's great content being produced by other people. So why can't you, for an example, leverage other people's content to promote your business? So let's say, for an example, this Sports Direct article for Nike and Adidas. So this is a BBC article here that's been performing well on LinkedIn. So I'm gonna copy and paste that link, yeah, and then I'm gonna pivot into a little free social media tool called Sniply. And this is free, and what you can do is you can share your own calls to action or adverts on other people's content. So say, for an example, I was sharing an article from the BBC, which I'm going to do right now, and I'm going to ask you to participate in this. So if you're watching on your desktop, get your mobile ready. You can go in here, it's free, and I can literally click through here and paste that link from the high performing content that I've just done on LinkedIn, create the snip, and my free snip is how to generate leads on LinkedIn. So I literally snip that, and this is really, really easy, by the way, to do. And I'm going to go back to my company page because I've picked an article that's performing well. Go to the page, and I want you to go to the Maverick page now. So if you're able to, go to the Maverick page because I want you to test this for yourself. Yeah, so find the Maverick page, and I'm just going to post this here. See, LinkedIn's playing up again with its weird screen thing. So go find this article that I've just posted on my Maverick's company page. Give us a cheeky follow whilst you're there, please. And click the link to this Sports Direct advert. And then tell me in the comments when you've done that. So if you've got a company that's like a hedge fund software company, start using content that's relevant to the hedge fund sector, so financial sector, investment sector. So in the content suggestions here, yeah, I can go investment management, maybe, all LinkedIn members, and I can do it by location. So if I was an investment manager, here is the content that's engaging for that. Yeah, everybody with me? So you could literally find what's performing well on LinkedIn, learn from it yourself. Yeah, so learn from it. But more than that, you can use this content with the Sniply link. Anybody found the Sniply link where you can get the download? You see my little head with the download? Everybody seen that on the BBC News site? So that'll work with lots of different websites. So you could literally, as somebody who mentioned investment management, one of the great ways to capture leads from your company page and from your website is to do downloads, white papers and things. What you can do now is start to share content on a regular basis that has Sniply links in it, so that you're sharing a download while sharing high performing content. The URL of Sniply is snip.ly. snip.ly. Totally free. If you want to remove their little branding here, yeah, I think you pay about 20 quid a month. But to use it with the branding, it's fine. Everybody with me now? Everybody still alive? Good. Right. I'm glad you think that was absolutely genius. Sorry. So one final thing. One final thing I want to share, and then I'll do a bit of Q&A. So we've got the community hashtags. We've got the content suggestions. The next one is posting. Yeah. What I would highly suggest is for your company page, if you don't have time to create unique content, if you don't have time to put stuff out there, focus on one day a week doing something that's totally unique. It's your stuff. And then 4 days a week, use the content suggestions with the Sniply link. Yeah, do that. And that will keep your page populated with insightful stuff and engaging stuff. Now, if you want to build your following, there's a couple of really simple things to do. And one of them you might not like, but I'll tell you anyway. So number one, literally ask people to follow your company page. You might feel like an idiot doing it, but people will. I built a company page of 1,000 followers just by asking people to follow the page. So I might say, thanks for being connected. Hope things are going well for you. Wait for a reply. And then when they reply and have conversations, say, hey, you couldn't do me a favor. I'm really looking to build our company page. Would you give it a follow and put the link in the message? People will do it. That's the one you might not like. The next one you should be doing is on the days when you're doing business posts, try to use posts where you can tag people who the post might be relevant to. So say for an example, Maverick publishes a post now, and then what happens is Dean will go in and tag somebody and say, hey, such and such, did you see this? And that will encourage them to look. Now, there is a growing trend on LinkedIn to push out loads of tagging lots of people. That does work, but I think it doesn't look very good. It's up to you whether you do that. You could tag, like, I've seen people get hundreds of likes on their posts because they tag like a gazillion people. You may not like to do that, but what you could do is meaningfully tag people, or you could go through your content suggestions and find companies and start to tag people who are relevant to that. So say it was the Mike Ashley, for an example. I could, and it was a decent article that was positive, and I wanted to do business with somebody at Sports Direct. I could tag them and ask them, hey, how's this going, and do it that way. Now we come to one more thing about sharing your company page posts. So I'm going to tread really carefully on here because I've got my own commercial team telling me I have to keep quiet about stuff because, we have to run a business, But what you can do, if you want to increase the reach of your company page posts, by that I mean more people see the company page post, share it. If you want, the content, so literally go on and view as member and share. Yeah. If I want more people to see the piece of content, if I want more people to see the company page and the content, I would like and comment, because that will in the LinkedIn training world, likes and comments are worth more than shares. So liking and commenting on your company page posts will give it a boost. If you want more people to get to the company page, that's the best way to do it. I'm just going to ask a couple of questions. So I'm going to ask you. I'm going to deal with some questions here. First question. Is there a benefit to using Sniply in particular? There are lots of different clipping tools that you can use for this one. Sniply is just one of them. I've used that one for about, since 2012, I've been using Sniply for various things. So it's been around a long time. It works. That's the kind of main reason. So sharing the link. Some people will not necessarily be as interested in just clicking what you've got to offer, buy my stuff kind of thing. But if you share meaningful content on a regular basis, you will create a pattern in that user's behavior that they will start to see you on a regular basis. If you supply meaningful content, we nickname this the rule of 48, which is that if people start to see you on a regular basis, LinkedIn's algorithm, however it works, will help them see more of your stuff. We all know that you can have as many page likes as you want, but who sees it is based on who's engaged with it, who's active and who's engaging with your stuff. So having content on your company page and keep putting stuff that encourages people to like or comment will help them see future stuff. So that's the first one. Richard, I just put the link in quickly, so I don't know whether the link on that thing actually works, but the ad will work, if that makes sense. So Joe, scheduling, should we build company page followers? What are the, sorry, Joe first. Scheduling company page work, or does it need to be organic? I've done a mix of both. I have found that when you schedule stuff or schedule stuff, you do take a hit on the reach of the post. But it's better to have something there for your audience than nothing. So if you schedule, go schedule. If you don't, do it organic. Organic is always better. I don't know, there's no scientific stuff. I've not done any studies here, but what I have seen in my own experience is when you schedule, you take a hit on the reach. That said, a lot of our Maverick posts are scheduled because it's easy to manage. Jonathan, you make a valid point. Company pages, do they make a difference at all? Company pages are massive validators. Yeah, they're huge ways to validate your offering to the world. So if you want to do business on LinkedIn, people will look at your company page to check you out. We have made sales from our company page. We have had inquiries from people who spotted our company page and commented on our company page. We did one recently where we asked people had they been to one of our events, and somebody said, no, I didn't even know you existed. They're now coming to one of our events. So we do get that, but that's from building the engagement, hence the content, and growing the audience. Oliver, we do have an American office, tiny, but that's we are out there, and we did some events there last week. So you do get stats on your company page. They're a little bit better in some ways and worse in others. So if I just flick through, and I'm trying to answer all your questions here, but we got this 12-second delay to keep the stability of the live stream as high as possible. And why is, so if I view as admin, and when I go on the stats, we get slightly different stats. So so we get the stats of each post and the impressions and the view counts. There's also in the analytics here, yeah, so in the analytics you can start to see the stats of the people who are looking, the roles. Why is LinkedIn so difficult to work sometimes? Oh, I shouldn't say that, LinkedIn might be watching. So you can start to see from the content who's looking, dates, job function, location. Yeah, so what did I say? My ideal location here is London. Interesting, Sheffield, so close, Plymouth. So you can start to see here the analytics of where they are, seniority. Yeah, so that's perfect for us, senior and all the senior positions. Need a few more CEOs though. Industry. Look, marketing and advertising is landslide. Company size. Yeah, so you can start to see. So really, really smart. If you use the content suggestions and really pivot it right, you can start to build an audience of the exact people you want. So if you want CEOs and CXOs and top-level decision makers on your company page, change the content. Start to engage with more of those people. Maybe ask a few of them to support your page. There's no problem at all. And the other analytics you've got, which is the followers analytics, which is good. So you can start to see where your followers are and locations. So, but then you can start to see the comparison of your companies, and it gives you some suggestions. You can track different companies, so you can start to see how you're performing in line with other companies. Yeah, so we've got at the moment 2,023 followers, 45 new followers in the last month. Number of updates, 41 updates, because most of them are scheduled, coming from the content suggestions. And the engagement rate is 5.61. That's pretty decent engagement rate, by the way. Who sees your video has some but limited statistics? What can you know about who sees your company page? So these are the statistics that you will see. They're a little bit different because you don't have the same detailed posts. But again, LinkedIn, the company page can do things and be in places that you perhaps can't. So if you start to put stuff out, you'll start to build an audience, and of course, you start to look like a reputable business. You start to look like you're active on here, you're engaged, you've got an engaged audience. I mean, look at this. We've only focused on our company page. 4% engagement rate is pretty solid, to be fair. If you look at your own LinkedIn posts as an example, look at the number of connections you've got, and then look at the number of likes and comments that you have, unique likes and comments. So if you've liked and commented, that's 1. And you'll probably find that your engagement rate is sat under 2 or 3%. There are some flukes of this. If you've got 40 connections and you have 1 like, that it just makes it massive, or 2 likes and it makes it massive. But the average user's engagement rate is probably less than 2%. So 4% on a company page is pretty decent. It's not the best in the world, but let me show you something here. I'll just pick on Facebook, because if I pick on LinkedIn, I might get in trouble. They might come and get me or something. So this is Facebook with their, where's their follower count? 4.8 million followers. Hopefully there's an accountant on this feed here. Yeah. So 4.8 million followers, 1,564 likes. So 1% of 4.8 million would be 48,000. Is that right? 48,000. 1,564, but that was 15 hours ago, so let's look back a bit more. 16 hours ago, 989. Video, 2,200, so that's a bit better. Yeah. So one really important thing as well is video. LinkedIn say that video is a high performing content. So if you put videos onto your company page, you will naturally get higher responses. Adam, you can get now, Hootsuite does allow you to natively upload video to LinkedIn. This is a new thing, because a month ago this wasn't possible. But apparently now it is. I haven't tried it, but I've had people who have tried it and have told me it works. What we don't know is, we know that using something like Hootsuite does have an impact somehow on the reach of a post. But we don't know how native video being scheduled on LinkedIn has an impact. So yes, the news out is I'm going to try it over the weekend. You can natively upload video using Hootsuite. Any other questions? It's great, actually. When you're in a business and you do lots of free value, there's always this thing that you have to do where you kind of have to promote something. And I've got nothing to promote today, so it feels great. Guys, unless you've got questions, I'm aware I'm 12 seconds ahead of you. thank you for watching. Please follow this YouTube channel. Please follow our company page. And if you want some more training, oh, here's the promo. If you want to know how to really leverage LinkedIn for sales and stuff, either message me or go to our website and click the events at the top and come to one of our events. Yes, Peter, you could do this with your own page. You can do all of this yourself. Build your own page. It adds to credibility, particularly if you're a small business. If you're a small business, it brings a lot of credibility to have a company page because people look at you and go, oh, this is who they are. Yeah? Any last questions before I sign off for the day? And I'm going to count to 12, obviously, because if I don't count to 12. Yeah, you can share your post to your personal profile. But what I would encourage you to do is not just share, and I'm going to do it now on my page. So I'm going to share this. Assume this was my company page, and I'm going to share it. I would not just click share and post. I would start to write, hey, friends, anything you'd write. I just saw this, blah, 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 blah. So try and put something meaningful. If you want to share it, share your company page, try and put something meaningful with it. So it's not just a random share. Ask people, tell people why it's important. AJ, drop me a message and I'll talk to you about how you do this for business development, how you get conversations. We actually have a monthly service that you could probably do. But yeah, drop me a message or give the office a ring, ask for me or Vasco and we'll talk you through it. CEOs, now really important. CEOs have, depending on the size of the company, CEOs don't really want to be hitting people up to try and get business. Nothing wrong with it. There's a way to do it where you don't look pushy or, greasy salesman type, really low key. What I would do is use the CEO profile, personal profile, and I would share company content, say every other day. And then those other days, put out like thought leadership pieces, things that really inspire your customers and interest your customers. But we've got a module in our course about how you leverage LinkedIn to get views and thought leadership and stuff. But I would try and do thought leadership and share the company page. That's what I would do. Right, well, that was the last question. So feel free to connect with me on LinkedIn. Feel free to follow me. If you've got questions, you want to ask about our services, give us a call at the office or message us on LinkedIn. But thank you for watching. This is my first proper YouTube live with all the gear and everything, so hopefully I've done it half decent. But guys, really appreciate you spending the time with us. I hope this has been of value, and if there's anything we can help, just give us a shout. Have an awesome, awesome weekend.